Hello folks, welcome to episode 2 of the SWR Darts Coaching Podcast. My name's Sean and welcome to this new episode. So this week, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I was coaching last week. I'm going to go over that, and then I'm also going to go over what the practice routine is that I've posted this week. Again, all the practice routines that we do are posted up on our Facebook page every Sunday. So every Sunday, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and you will see our practice schedules on there. Our practice routines on there. I'm going to talk about the practice schedules in a bit as well. Just search for SWR Darts Coaching or SWR Darts Coach, and you will come across me. So, what have I been coaching this week? We've had mostly juniors in this past week. It's been half term. So it's been fantastic to see some junior players come down to the Darts Hub, come down and just talk about the game, learn some of the basics. We've had a few players who've come in who were looking just to find out a little bit more information about their throw. Some players, they come in and it's quick tweaks, shall we say, making sure that the elbow's up, they're extending their arm on the throw, keeping a very strong body. And then there's other players who come in and, you've got to work everything into them. And I think sometimes it's tough when you have to do that with the junior players because you're giving them a lot of information. So the way I try and do it is I try and do it in little bits, little jigsaw pieces. So we just start with one bit. We look at that and then we mention about another bit. And then obviously, when we let them go away at the end of the session, we say, listen, focus on this, look at this, remember this. And they go away, and then it's a case of letting them put that into practice, and hopefully they come back, and we can work on the next bits. And then also after that, it's then about working on making sure that when they're going up to the dartboard, they're practicing right. Are they going up there and focusing on areas that they need to focus on to try and get consistency, and also ball management. So we've had quite a few junior players in with it being half term. Obviously, we've had a couple of chaps in as well that have come down. We had one gentleman who's come down from Preston this week. Lovely guy, just literally wanted to, get a little bit more knowledge on his throw, on the basics of the game, plays in a couple of leagues, and just wanted to improve at the game. And that's fantastic, when you get them players come in. We worked with him, I think he had a 90-minute session. It was a good 90-minute session, and we went over the basics of his throw, his biomechanics. His biomechanics were really good, to be fair. But there was a slight tweak in the way his wrist was after he released the dart, so we worked on that a little bit. And then we focused a little bit onto the practices that he was doing. Normal thing when you speak to someone, what do you normally practice? I play a bit of 501, I go round the board, I practice on certain doubles. So we sort of sent him away with a practice schedule, which will help, hopefully even, work on all aspects that we're asking him to look at on the dartboard. Not just certain doubles that he wants to focus on, but all the doubles. We need to know all the doubles. So we've worked on that as well. Something else that we've been doing at the Hub this week is we got a XQ Max MVG training dartboard. Now, if anyone follows us on TikTok, we have put a video up on TikTok about this. So head over to TikTok and find us, SWR Darts Coaching. Interesting board, never seen one before. We got it and we put it straight up, and we have great service as well. It came from the Netherlands, I think it was. It took about 2.5 days to arrive. We put it up. Very interesting board. The mechanics of how it works are all interesting as well. I've not seen it before. But we've had that up for a couple of days now. Unfortunately, I've been away for a couple of days myself at the weekend, so I've not really had a chance to get on it at the weekend. So I'm looking forward to getting back down the Hub this week to try a little bit more of it. But it's all about focusing on areas of the dartboard. So obviously, the treble sections, double sections, looking to, help with consistency and accuracy from what I can see. But it's all a basics training board, and like I say, really interesting piece of equipment that just adds to a bit of different training down at the Hub. So in a nutshell, that's basically the main bits we've been doing this week down at the Darts Hub here in Stoke-on-Trent. So now I'm just going to move on and talk about the darts practice that I mentioned at the start. that we list every Sunday up on our Facebook page. These are also on our website, so swrdartscoaching.co.uk. All these darts practices are there in a little library, so you can go in and just take them out of there and have a go at them. Some that we've come up with ourselves, some obviously are from sort of like websites like Go Darts Pro, some that are routines that have been passed to us in the past by players. Whenever I go to tournaments or I work with players, one thing I'm always asking is, what do you train? How do you train? What's the focus of your training? And these are great to find out, and I think this has been helping a lot of players as well with these darts practices. So it's number 114 that I'm going to talk about, and it's just a little bit of a fun tournament. This is something that we've been doing down at the hub as well with a couple of players over the last few weeks. So the one in particular, obviously, I know you won't be able to see, but if you head over to the website and the Facebook, you'll be able to see it. But I'll just explain it anyway. So the way it works is there's 5 rounds. In each round, you're going to be playing a best of 5 against yourself. So effectively, it's solo play. A lot of the practice games I put out there, I like to do as a solo, but obviously you can do this as a pair as well if you want to do it with a practice partner. So round 1, we're playing 5 legs, and we're looking to check out 25. So if we're playing the solo version, I'm going to talk about the solo version. We're looking to check out 25. Common number that's left on the dartboard. Go whichever way you want. There's no right way, no wrong way. Go whichever way you want. So you've got 3 darts in hand. You throw for 25. If you get 25, you get a tick. Happy days. We move on to the second leg. Second leg, I get 25 again with my 3 darts. Another tick. I'm 2-0 up now. And in a first to 3 race, a best of 5, the first 3 race, I'm 2-0 up. I then go for the 25, and I'm going the 9-8-8 route, say. I've hit the 9, and I've missed me 2 at 8-8 now. Now I've lost a leg, so I'm now 2-1 in essence. Then coming back into the 4th leg, I've gone the same route, and I've bust my score. With them 3 darts, we're now 2-2. We're going into the last leg of this round, but bearing in mind it's a best of 5 round. So we're going into the last leg. I come up, I hit single 9, 8-8 with my second dart. I'm there. I've won 3-2. I'm through to round number 2. So in round 2, the checkout that we're looking for is 41. So it's the same principle again. I've got 3 darts in hand to take out 41. If I don't take it out with my first visit, I'll lose that leg. If I lose 3-0, game's over. I'm out of the tournament. If you want, please just start again. The aim is to try and get to the final. So as I said to you, you've got 5 rounds. The 5 scores were round 1 was 25. Round 2 was 41. The quarter-final was 73. The semi-final was 105. And the final was 119. So again, the way it'll work is if you get to the final, you've got 3 darts in hand to take out 119. Nice little challenge there. And obviously, as with anything, it just progressively gets that little bit more tricky as we move on. 25 is nice. 119 can be that little bit of a tricky one. We did do this down the hub with a chap, and he got 119, and he came up, and his first dart went towards 20. And I just looked at him, and I went, why? He went, I didn't realise. He says, but at the same time, I was thinking I'll nick a treble 20 for a single 19 for tops. Okay, it's a gamble. Wouldn't go that way personally. But again, there's no right way, there's no wrong way. So that's darts practice number 114 on our website. Nice little tournament against some obscure checkouts. Head over, guys, and give it a go. Okay, so for the last part of today's little podcast, it's, I suppose, a little bit of self-promotion. I don't know how you want to look at it. But on the website as well, I list some practice schedules. Now, there's 3 on there. The 4th one will be released, hopefully, by the end of this week. We've just started doing a little bit of tweaking to it. Now, the idea behind these practice schedules is just to give the player a little bit of structure when they're up there on the dartboard. Some people online have tried these and said, yeah, they've been brilliant for them. Some people have said, no, I don't really get them. And like I said in last week's podcast, there are people on there who are saying, that it's wrong what I'm doing here by putting these schedules out and charging for them as well. Well, all the money that comes into it, goes towards my Darts Academy to helping to buy products for the Darts Academy that we run, as well as all the other sort of little darts things that we do to try and help new players, youth players, get into darts. And obviously, myself here at SWR Darts Coaching. Next season, I'm looking to sponsor a couple of young players as well to go and play on tours and help them. That's the aim of what we're trying to do here at SWR Darts Coaching. But I just want to explain about the practice schedule a little bit more, I suppose, with, like, say, version 4 is coming out this week. So we're just taking version 1, for example. So the way version 1 works is there are 6 practice games. And in those 6 practice games, you can track your scores. So I say that do this schedule twice a week. Okay, so week 1, you've got 2 boxes for 2 scores, session 1 and session 2. The aim of how it all meant to work is whatever score we put in on session 1 for that week, that's our base score. That's where that's what we started at. So when we go for session 2, we're always looking to beat session 1's score. Then when we get into week 2, we've got the base of where we were in week 1, so we know what scores we got week 1. So we're looking to beat week 1's scores in week 2. But we're always taking that very first score that we did as our base score. That's what we always want to try and beat. But obviously the aim of it all is just to try and beat every score and, track how well we're doing over a 4-week period. And like I say, version 1, some interesting games in there. We start off with a little warm-up game. You don't have to do the warm-up. It's there. It's optional. Practice 1, 100 darts at 20. Love this game. Nice little game to start a warm-up with. Or should I say start a routine with. Fantastic game just to get the arm going, a little bit of accuracy. And obviously, you're counting your hits. So a single hit is 1 point. Double hits 2 points, treble hits 3 points. So we're just collecting a number that we're doing there. Also, most of the games in these practice schedules you can find on apps, or you can use a bit of paper or a whiteboard or a spreadsheet, whichever way you want to do, just to track what your number you're up to. And then if you print the practice schedules off, you can just write the scores in, so it's you can keep track that way. Or I've got a spreadsheet of all my scores that I keep doing, just so I can track over a period of time. So you do practice 1, you move on to practice 2, then on to practice 3. What I've always said is when you get to practice 3, get a little break there. At this point, you've probably been on the ball maybe 25 minutes, half an hour, depending on how long you take. It could be 40 minutes. Just have a little breather at that point. Get a bit of water on board, a bit of H2O, or any drink that you want, to be fair. Maybe a little snack. Up to you, whatever you feel. Then move on to practice 4, practice 5, and practice 6. Some of the practice sessions, I think Schedule 2 and maybe Schedule 3, they look like they start off nice, there's a little bit of difficulty in the middle, and we finish, with a good little fun sort of game at the end. And that was always the same when I did my football coaching. Your warm-up is what it is. The warm-up is getting the players ready, getting the activation ready. The middle part is where we're just working on something and we're focusing on what we're working on. And then the last part is where we're trying to put everything together and just finish on a good game to walk away from that training session and go, yeah, I feel good about that training session. So they are the practice schedules. As I say, they are, again, I'll keep plugging it, they are available on the website. At the moment, you can get all 3 schedules, so versions 1, 2, and 3 for a £5. It's all paid via PayPal as well. We send it via email to you. So once the PayPal notification comes to me, I send an email to you with the 3 practice sessions in there, which come as a PDF. So all you do is you print them off, or you can have them on your phone, or you can make it as an editable PDF. I'll get the word out. Editable PDF, and you can track your scores that way. So it's really up to you how you want to do it. But they are really fun to try as well, and it just keeps that little bit of focus in your darts practice session, which I do feel sometimes some players, you need that little bit more focus in your practice. And you do this twice a week, and like I say, they can take up to an hour, maybe an hour and a bit. And it just helps that you as a player focus on areas of the game that you might not normally focus on in a practice session. And hopefully you'll see some results down the line. So that's my recap here on episode 2 of the SWR Darts Coaching Podcast. Thank you to everyone who downloaded and has listened to episode 1. It was really appreciated. This was literally just me having an opportunity to have a little bit of a ramble about darts and talk about darts practices and coaching, something that I've got a massive passion for. So, episode 2, obviously, I hope you've enjoyed this one as well. Do head over and give Practice 114 a try. Like I say, it's available on our Facebook page, Instagram. We will try and do a TikTok video of it as well this week, although I'm still trying to get the angles and the way the filming and everything works right on the TikTok, but I will look into try and do more TikToks. And again, please head over there and follow us. I do have a giveaway planned when I get a good amount of followers on TikTok. I will be doing a couple of giveaways. So be sure to head out over there. But we are across them all: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and obviously just search for SWR Darts Coaching. Thank you ever so much for listening. Please subscribe here to the podcast so you get to know when the next one comes out. And everyone, just enjoy your darts and stay strong on the hockey.